Married people of Reddit, what is the harmless elephant in the room that won't affect your relationship but you never speak of? My wife doesn't screw the top back on the bottle of anything. Everything with a lid is a potential bomb. We have a trinket, small glass monkey, that started out as me putting it on his study desk in secret, to which he would then put it back on mine. Now it has escalated to being hidden in each other's stuff all around the house, underwear drawer, shoes and luggage. We have never spoken about it. Edit. Spelling mistake. Neither of us puts up laundry. It's supposed to be one washes the other puts it away, but neither of us do it. All our clothes just sit in baskets 99% of the time. It irks us both, but we're both guilty, so we keep our mouths shut. Her leaves half-finished glasses of water everywhere. Also, puts a glass of water next to the bed despite knocking it over at least twice a week. Me. Human perfection. No flaws. My wife uses all the dishes when she cooks. I don't even know how that's possible. I'm grateful for the meal but salty that whoever doesn't cook does the dishes. 80% of our marriage is one of us says, "Where's my keys?" and the other saying, "What?" I don't think it will change. Divorce lawyer and married man here. Something I saw come up in divorces and tried to make sure was not happening in my own relationship is when one person feels they don't have a life outside their marriage and kids. That feeling will swelter and grate for years, and I have seen it finally be the end of long marriages. The spouse who feels they have nothing outside of a marriage eventually blaming the other spouse. My wife works part-time and is home part-time, so I started being pushy about her getting out while I stayed home with the kids. And I really did have to get pushy about it. She wound up playing on an indoor soccer team and getting drinks more regularly with friends. She would often thank me later for being insistent about her getting out, and I think it helped relieve something that could have otherwise festered between us. I've seen her ex showering in the gym and his D is about twice as long and thick as mine. Here's one from a couple I know. For the longest time the guy would walk into the bathroom and there was a number 2 in the toilet unflushed. Frustrated, he would flush and go about his day. One day he walks in. Their cat is squatting over the toilet pooping. He tells his wife about it. She said, "I thought that was you." Both parties were flushing the toilet, annoyed at the other one. Turns out it was the cat. My wife is the absolute worst storyteller ever. She is so smart and funny, but my goodness. Her stories go on forever. She takes a story that should take 2 minutes to tell and turns it into a 25-minute story with every single detail that actually happened. Edit. Please don't tell my wife. She once bragged about being good at chess and I beat her in 5 moves using a tactic I found on YouTube. We don't speak of chess anymore. Every time he puts on a new toilet paper roll, he does it upside down. I flip it over every time. 16 years and counting. My wife leaving food out on the counter without ever putting it away disgusts me, and I end up cleaning up after her every day. I leave my socks everywhere, which she finds repulsive, but she cleans them up and never says anything. Neither of us are changing our ways, so we just accept it. The 2 relationships I was in directly before I met my wife ended when my partner died. Nothing suspicious. They both died of cancer. Different cancers. But my wife knows I miss one of them still and we never talk about it. He leaves any and all doors drawers open after getting what he needs out of them. Kitchen cabinets, the dishwasher, the microwave, bathroom vanity, closets, dressers, nightstands. I can always tell whether or not he's home when I walk through the front door. It will look like our kitchen is about to be ransacked. I've called him out on it like twice. When I first noticed it was a trend, and a time after that, and he was genuinely surprised. He was like, "You're ducking with me. You opened some of those." Nope. 7 kitchen cabinets and drawers apparently had to be opened for you to make your snack. All you. Babe. He sincerely apologized. But here we are 4 years later and I still just follow him around closing cabinets and drawers after he leaves the room. It's too comical to fight over. And it really doesn't even bother me terribly. So I just don't bring it up. Nareosus copyright airing. My husband refuses to use our dirty clothes hamper. Socks and underwear are discarded wherever he feels like kicking them off. Capital I. on the other hand, love to cook huge, elaborate meals but refuse to eat leftovers. Also, I put ice in my wine like a heathen. I'm jealous of our dog. My husband gives her more attention and affection than he gives me. When the dog comes into the room after having been gone for more than 10 minutes, she gets a full romantic monologue in Spanish while being rocked in his arms. Hola mi ama. ¿Quieres? Queers. Hermosa? Sí. Yo sé. ¿Te sientes bien? Sí. Pero. Mi ama. Estás cansada. Pobrecita? Oh. Pobrecita. Te leva. When I come home after a full day of work, all I get is, oh. Hi. Then attention back on the dog. Damn that cute little itch. Drives me insane that he eats in bed. Not snacks, but full ducking meals. Spaghetti in bed. Chinese food in bed. Sushi in bed. I freak out that he's going to spill something all over and I'm going to have to wake up to help him change the sheets again. He's a $140 soaking wet, so I don't even know where it goes. If you asked him, it's that I never throw away a piece of paper I needed for that one class 3 months ago or that goat's cheese in the freezer from even before then. He's constantly coming to me with 2 things in his hand saying I can only keep 1. Well, since we've known each other since childhood, she remembers all the times I've cried like a little itch over the stupidest things. I dread the day she figures out how to use that against me. I travel for work and bring back a stuffed animal for her. I did this for years and then found out that she refuses to donate, throw away anything with a face. We have gobs of stuffed animals from my trips all over the place. Did I stop getting her stuffed animals after I learned? Of course not. So the elephant in the room is probably from my Arizona trip. We've finally worked out after 13 years together that sleeping in the same room as each other just doesn't work for us, and we are happier and healthier sleeping in separate rooms. Means we have to prioritize intimacy, but we are happier and saner sleeping in his and hers rooms. He snores and likes to watch movies on his iPad until the middle of the night, and I wake up if a mouse rolls over 2 blocks away. Years of sleep deprivation have taught us both that a good night's rest make us more loving partners to each other. We've both got damaged hearing, his from work and mine from far too many gigs concerts as a teenager, so almost all of our conversations include what? Down the hall haha. Edit. RIP inbox. When we got together in our early 20s, I kind of moved in with him pretty quickly. He was like, feel just like you're at home. What's mine is yours, but never opened the top drawer of the nightstand, so I was living there with him for almost a year thinking that was where his porn collection was stored or something like that. We never talked about it, mostly because I was pretty sure I knew what was in there anyway. So what about it? Not that I mind. One evening I was laying on the bed and he was at the computer and I was like, I wish I had my Game Boy Color here with me. I haven't played Pokemon in years and I would like to play it so badly right now. His answer was, of course, open the top drawer of the nightstand. And there it was, his old Game Boy and the blue version of Pokemon, and we ended up getting a second GBC and the red version and playing it for months. So basically, respect your partner's little secrets and never really grow up is the advice I can give you. Edit. Wow. Thank you so much for the gold and all the nice comments. I'm sitting here with a broad grin right now. I have a vastly different sexual drive than my wife. She tries for at least once a month. So I take care of business myself every day or 2. Because I have needs. And I'm not going to force my needs to become her burdens. My wife went to the University of Alabama. There are tons of elephants around most rooms of our house. There is a small red colored magnet hidden somewhere in the house. When it's found, it has to be moved to another hiding place. We've been doing this for 15 years now but never talk about it. Well, it was a long time ago so it doesn't matter now. But the time I farted in front of her whole family while we were all crowded around a small table looking at something. It was a bad one. One of those ones that's hot coming out. Nobody flinched, left the table, or ever said a word about it. Mail here. The fact that I masturbate. Dave Chappelle calls it the mercy joke. Especially when your wife is tired. We've been married nearly 10 years and both agree that it's in both of our best interests that I continue my habit. I fall asleep with my light on nearly every night while reading before bed. and can usually be found face down in a book or my Kindle, or I'll be curled up with it like it's a stuffed animal. My husband has to find a way to get the book Kindle away from me without waking me up. I also leave half full water glasses all over the house. He's rubbish at cleaning the glass lids to our pants, still look filthy with grease food after he's done washing up, and he frequently leaves bits of facial hair all over the bathroom sink. He does his best to clean up, but there's still hairs on everything anyway. We just take this stuff in stride. It's not a deal breaker, and we both know we're each far from perfect. Driving. I taught her to drive when she was about 20. 30 years later she is still a slow and mostly careful driver, so if she is driving, I have to allow for extra time to get somewhere as well as be accepting of the fact she might use a different route. When I'm driving, she knows to put her earbuds in and look down at her phone or even close her eyes or else she will be terrified. Farts, we've just chose to ignore and never speak of it. Not me but my parents. We're a Chinese family and my father is born in the Chinese zodiac year of the pig. After they were married, my mother started buying pig themed things for the house. A pillowcase featuring a farm scene, a mug in the shape of a pig figurines, etc. My father thought my mother liked pigs because she kept buying pig themed things, so he started buying pig themed things for the house. 10 years later, with the house filled in pig themed things, they have a conversation and realize that neither of them really were into pigs and they were just buying them for the other person. Now guests who come over see pigs all over the place and think my parents collect them and they buy more pig themed things as gifts for birthdays, anniversaries, etc. Well, there is this bag of luggage at the bottom of the stairs that she left there when we got back from holiday last week. I feel like everyone here is dating my wife. How many previous sexual partners you've each had comes to mind. Some people believe this number should be divulged, but it will never help anything and should be respected as the past. We're not married but he leaves nearly everything he owns in his pockets when he puts his short jeans in the washing machine. My wife has an eye disorder that makes all cat puke completely invisible, regardless of its size or location in the room. It will sit there until I pick it up, and then when I pick it up she says, "Oh, I didn't see that." I leave Kilimanjaro-sized mounds of beard hair in the sink and fart too much. She's gained 100 pounds in 2 years. It's an unspoken draw. He never finished his coffee, so there's always a half-drunk coffee on the table. Sometimes a few if he hasn't put the mugs in the kitchen. I've asked him why, and he says it's because it gets cold too fast. Tried smaller coffees. Still does it. She never puts the ducking cap back on the toothpaste. On multiple occasions in our dozen years of marriage, my wife has talked to my farts. As in, I fart and from across the house I hear "What was that, honey?" It's little things like this that I wake up for every morning. My drastic weight gain and the uphill battle of trying to lose weight. What do you want to eat? I don't care. Okay, I'll grab some subs then. I don't want subs. Okay, then what do you want? I don't care. This goes on every time we don't have time to cook, or don't have anything to cook. He always moves my things. My shampoo or conditioner in the shower are never where they're supposed to be. Why do you have to move it? What are you doing that it needs to be moved around? Babe, where are my new shoes? You haven't seen them? 3 months later I find them in a suitcase in the closet. Babe, where did that bill go that I paid last week? When we were moving I found like 10 paid but not filed away bills in a shoebox shoved all the way under the bed. But on my part, I leave messes. It's not like I do it on purpose, it just happens and I'm somehow unable to see it as a mess. He is like this cleaning machine. First thing he does when he wakes up, automatically line everything up on the table. I come home from work on his days off and the house is too organized. He doesn't remember doing it half the time. Hence the never worn cute shoes in a suitcase. His answer is I've never seen those. We got wasted in Liverpool one night and spent the night at a friend's house. We all woke up and it had looked like a maid had come through. He didn't remember doing it. His friends said it was normal and they'd never mention it to him before in case he stopped doing it. I give a 10-minute and 5 minutes warning before I put dinner on the table. Yet, The minute I say dinner is ready, he has to poop. Every single day, I'm learning to tell him dinner is ready at the 5-minute mark so that he is ready when dinner is. I'm an insomniac and he sleeps like a brick. Since like middle school, I've always gotten along better with women and men. Because of that, I have quite a few close girlfriends, some which she thinks are way too close and way too attractive. She has a similar situation where she has many male friends, but I'm not the jealous type, so it's a non-issue. As long as she knows where I am, it is one of those things she ignores. He knows I'm super insecure about my weight gain. He definitely notices how I avoid him seeing me naked or getting dressed in front of him. He has never mentioned anything to me and tells me I'm beautiful and gorgeous every day. He's so good to me. He smokes weed all day every day. He's functional and is responsible when it comes to work, but is lazy about everything that involves adulting. The fact that my husband's father walked out when he was 3 years old. The last memory that my husband has is of his father claiming that he doesn't want him. This has led to my husband being overly protective of our daughter. Frustrates me sometimes, but I say nothing because I know why. My husband leaves the last bit of anything in a jar or container, on purpose. Like, not enough margarine to spread on a single bit of bread, or a single grape. Duck I eat it or bin it. That he talks constantly about any movie or show we're watching. Who's that? What's happening? Are they gonna die? Is that the bad guy? I don't know, maybe if you STFU and watched the movie you would find out. Pisses me off so much, but really harmless in the grand scheme of our relationship. Wi-Fi is my grounding device for the kids. My wife is heavily Wi-Fi dependent. Update. Appreciate the inputs. To add context. 1 guy 3 women, 2 teens, household. Mac blocking works, but I don't want to jump into the router every time the dad hammer goes down. And the amount of drama just amplifies this at times. Dads with same setup will understand. I overstay in the toilet some days to find my peace. I did find the router with mobile control interesting. Maybe set up my Android as a router remote. I feel like I turn off lights 4 times more often in this house than I turn them on. But it's not just the wife, it's also the kids. My wife eats pizza starting on the crust end first. Divorce is discussed every pizza night. When my husband takes off his socks, he leaves them balled up and in the hamper they go. If they are missed when getting put in the wash and then dried, they stay wet and it makes me irrationally angry. I said something early in our relationship a few times and 9 years later the socks are still balled up. I'm disabled and have a lot of trouble lifting stuff because of my shoulder. I can do it, but it's painful and I can injure myself pretty easily. We have a tiny bathroom and can only hang our towels over the shower rod. I can take the towels down easily since I can just pull them from the bottom. However, I can never hang them back up because I can't lift my shoulder over my head very well. So I always leave them on the toilet seat. By the end of the day they're always hung up again. There's a lot of stuff he does like this that makes my life easier, but he never brings it up or complains. I'm seriously the luckiest woman alive. When I ask my wife a question, she answers a different question that I didn't ask, but is vaguely related. These are real examples. Q. How's the meatloaf? Answer. We need to go shopping soon. Q. What's your work phone number again? Answer. We're near our cell data limit. Q. Have you changed her diaper recently? Answer. You got to pick her up from daycare tomorrow. My wife does not rinse the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. She also can't park the car in the driveway. It's never straight and it's always too close to the other vehicle. Not married but together 5 years. He refuses to touch the cat litter box. Don't know why. Just can't get himself to do it. I think I'm probably too bossy sometimes. Edit cat not car. My wife chews with her mouth open. Pretty loudly. Also, last night, she complained about how much her stomach was hurting and then proceeded to eat like 8 little chocolate bars. I may have accidentally married a toddler. OPN's marriage of 10,000 couples. There is a bottle of face lotion in the medicine cabinet. The way my wife puts it in there, the nozzle faces into the cabinet, so you have to take it out to use it. Every day after a shower I pick it up, turn it so the nozzle points out, and I can just press down and use it while it's on the shelf. Every day is back to facing the other way. I don't even mention it as it makes me laugh so hard how small and silly, and likely absent-minded, it is. I had 3 really oppressive chronic illnesses emerge while we were dating. It drastically changed a lot about my life. Mid-relationship, he rolled with it like a champ, but then some random it happened like I can't drive on freeways at night now, at all. It's harder during the day, too, but night has become impossible. So he does all the long drives back home from visiting family or taking day trips. I do all the local driving that does not involve the freeway, and he drives us every other time. And we end up taking these trips several times a month, on top of his already lengthy commutes. I know he doesn't always want to drive, but he knows it's not a choice I made, and want us to be as safe as possible, so he just does it. I keep these sort of imbalances in mind whenever I consider complaining about the plethora of little mindless but ultimately harmless messes he leaves around the house.